Hello, this is Teacher Wayne. I'm back to my scene again. This time we're going to look at our zombie. So we've had a look at our player. I've gone through the code. Now let's focus on our zombie. First thing I've done is I noticed that it's called Zombie 1 and I've just renamed it here and I've changed it to Zombie. And it's a capital Z as well. The second thing is I've imported my zombie code and I've copied and pasted it there. I've just literally got my zombie code and put it there with the other code. And because we're going to apply that to this, but before we do that we've got to sort out the animation sequence for the zombie, which I think is quite a funky thing to do. So let's look at our zombie. He's already got a base animation. If I press play, you will see his base animation. Right. I'm moving up to the back. Can you see he does all sorts of basic animations? So what we want to do, because I'm moving down the slope here. That's interesting. Oh, it's because we're on a slope and it's -1. That's interesting. Gravity's pulling me down. I'll look at that later. But anyway, let's sort our zombie out. That's what I really want to do. So in his T-pose, and there, can you see, I've just clicked on it, that's the animation. If I double click it, it opens it up. And if we look here, I'm pressing the middle mouse button, by the way, here to move me around. Middle mouse button to zoom in and out with a mouse wheel. You need a middle mouse button for this, really. It's got all these animation sequences, so we don't want any of that, so we're just going to delete them all. We're going to create some more. So we're going to have an entry and we're going to have an exit. We don't need any state. I'm going to put the entry at the top, exit at the bottom. So the zombie has 4 states of existence. The first state is what I call the idle state, where he just stands and looks around. Second state is walking, when he will walk towards the player and start to attack the player, which is the third state, sorry, which is attack. So it's walking towards the player, idle and attack. We've got a 4th state, which we won't be covering in this video, called the dying state. Ironic for a zombie to die, but it dies. So what we need is, if you look here, we've got all the different animation states. So I'm going to, this is called, I'm going to find the right one, clicking them on them, and they all have details here, only about idle. So I'm going to get the idle and I'm going to move it up there. So zombie idle is the first state, because the entry goes straight to idle. Next thing, we've got run in place. We can do run if we want, but I want this walk here. There's got different types of animation. You have a play with different walk. You don't want walk in place, you want walk there. So that's one walk, and we also want attack. So let's find attack. Run in place, walk in place. Where's this attack animation? There's a zombie attack there. The zombie attack is there. So idle, war, attack. Now we also want dying. We've got loads of different dying ones. We've got, oh, there's another one. There's another attack there. You can actually see what it looks like when you press play. Seems to be working alright. Oh. Right, now we want to sort out the dying one. So idle, run in place, walk. Is it? Falling back. There we go, falling back. So let's put them all together. We've got this funny little square when I'm just moving them all around. So it goes from idle, walk, attack, zombie, falling back. Now we want to interact, we want it to transition between its 4 states of existence. And we need that, we need to create some variables. So up here where it says layers, we click parameters, and we click the plus, and we want to create 4 Boolean variables. The name of the Boolean variables, I want to match them with the script I already written, so I'm going to show you my script. It will help you understand something. So if I go back here, code, zombie. Now rather than me double clicking, you can actually look at it here. If you look here, can you see we've got walk, walking, attacking and idle. Attacking, walking, idle. All the different states. It's got walk, attack, idle. It hasn't got dying yet, but we'll worry about that later. So I want to create the names exactly what they are here. So we've got attacking. So I'm actually going to add them as bools and rename that. Or you can just double click it and you can type it in. I'm going to type in walking, capital W, because that's what it says there, capital W. Walking. This one is attacking. Attacking. Another one's going to be idle. Idle. I think it's capitals. Let me just check it. It's capitals. Is it capital I? What does it say? When in doubt, check. Yeah. Oh no, is that lowercase? Oh, it's uppercase. That's uppercase idle. And it's got a third state that's not mentioned in there, called dying. I'm just going to call it dead. Died. So it's got 4 states, and the default state is idle. So we tick that one as the default state. So that bit's done. Now what we're going to do is put all the transitions between each of these states. So in idle, it can go to all of these. So we make a transition to walking, right click, transition to attacking, right click, transition to falling back. So we can transition between idle to walking to attacking to falling back. And we're going to make a transition to exit. There's no basic, when you're dead, so you go to exit. Click on each of these arrows, it shows you how it transitions between idle and falling back. Don't worry about that too much. You can change the timings by adjusting this and ticking this box and not. This will set the timings for the animation. But the important bit is it from to go to idle to walk. In order to go to walk, walking has to be true. In other words, this variable has to be set to true. So what we do is we click here, walking, to set to true. You see that? Same for here. This is not walking, this is attacking is true. Click here and we change that to attacking because that's true. This one is it's dead is true. There you go. So we've got that. It's walking, attacking, walking and falling back, dying in other words. So now what we're going to put transitions between walking and the rest. So walking can go to idle, walking can go to attacking, and walking we can be dying. So let's have a look. For it to be idle, idle is set to true. If we're attacking, guess what? Attacking is set to true. I think you're getting it now. When it's falling back, that means it's dying. So we set that to true. There you go. So that's walking's 3 states done. So let's go from attacking. Attacking, we can go to idle, we can go to walking, and we can go to falling back. So if it's going from there to there, that means that idle is true. If it's going from there to there, that means walking is true. And if it's going from there to there, it's going to die. Death is true. Right, now falling back, can you go from dead to walking? No. Can you go from dead to attacking? No. Can you go from dead to idle? No. So there's no way back from death, so we don't bother putting the arrows up. And that's the transition state of the zombie. So I've set it now. If I press play, it should by default be in idle phase. Can you see he's in idle phase? He's having a look around. if I go to scene mode, oh, look at that, can you see he's moving down? That's quite interesting, that. Don't worry about that. Animation stage, can you see this is set to idle? Now watch if I go walking, just tick that, it should go to walking. If I go to scene mode, and there he goes, he's walking. Now if I untick that and go to dies phase, click on scene, he falls, keeps falling down because it keeps repeating it. It's quite funky. Untick that and click attacking. There you go, that's the attacking phase. That's quite cool, really. Let's go back to idle. There we go. Stop. So now we are back to beginning. So the zombie code is now, the zombie is done. Now let's grab the code and try and move it to the zombie. Okay, one more step we need to do is we need to get the zombie to have to walk on the nav mesh. What do I mean by nav mesh? It's a navigational mesh that zombie moves in. It's just a way for the zombie to move to and from areas that it can see or not see. So what we do is we now add a nav mesh agent. So we type in here, we type in nav mesh, and then can you see we've got agent. Now sometimes when you click that, there's no nav mesh agent, and you might get a little message up here about installing it. So click install and install. That may take a while. I haven't got it. It seems to be working for me now, which is fine by me. Doesn't matter. So it seems to be working, but we need that. We need an nav mesh agent for the zombie. Can you notice that's how fast it goes at 3.5? That's how fast he moves. The other thing we need to do is the terrain. We need to add a nav mesh surface to that. To the terrain, because the zombie moves on the terrain. So if we press bake now, this is interesting. This shows you where the zombie can and can't move. Can you see the zombie can sort of get part way up the mountain? We can see these bits here are bits he can't nav to. Even on the ground he can't move because there's a bit of a slope going on, so it's not perfect. To turn the nav mesh off, you just click this, by the way. I'm turning that off for now so we don't need to see it. Let me just press play and just see if this works. So I've still got my player. He's quite fast and he's not walking properly. The zombie's not walking as well. I'm going to change its speed to 1 first of all, because that was very fast reaction. And he's not automatic. Oh, he is. He's walking now. He's doing an attack. He seems to be gliding to me. He's sort of sliding, but I don't know why he's supposed to be walking. The walking's not working very well for some reason. Now it's because he's near to me, he's doing the attack animation, so let's run away. For some reason the walk animation is not very good, but I can fix that later. The basic mechanics are working, it's just the animation sequence isn't working. I'll look at that shortly and then I'll tell you what's happening. But for now, this is Teacher Wayne saying goodbye, and I'll have a look in the next video of what the issues I've got with me walking up and down the slope, the player walking up the slope and the zombie not animating properly. But I'll come back to that to my next video. Thank you for